This is Jay Michaels. And when I say film festival to you, you immediately go to something like Cannes, right? You immediately go to something like Tribeca, right? But what if I told you there's another number one out there? Now let's talk about number one. Now I'm from New York, so we're number one. But then everyone else is number one too. What if I said someplace in Boston, something in Boston is number one? Well, we're talking number one, world renowned. We're talking the Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival. This film festival is 50 years old. It's almost 50 years old, and it is the longest running genre film festival in America and only the second longest running genre film festival in the world. Next week is Boston Sci-Fi, and this week on Channel I, we are celebrating Boston Sci-Fi. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what makes something number one? These guys make something number one. You only get to be that good when you have these good filmmakers like I got right here. I'm thrilled to have them. I got a whole bunch more this week, and I'm really excited to learn about their movies. Gents, it's a pleasure to meet you and to speak to you. How's everybody?
Good.
Doing well. Pleasure to be here.
Cool.
Doing great.
Now, from what I've seen when I've spoken to several filmmakers, when one speaks sci-fi, we immediately have certain images in our head, and those images were dispelled when I spoke to these filmmakers because the imagination, the concepts are absolutely incredible. I'm looking forward to hearing all about your films. Let's start with the man from Hollywood, Shawn Harris. Tell us all about your film.
Thanks, Jay, and thanks to Boston Sci-Fi. We're very excited to be in the festival. We've heard about it for a long time, and to have our film, The Unhealer, in there is very nice. Appreciate it. My film is about, I'm the writer and producer, co-writer and producer. And our film is about a young boy that has an eating disorder that is always picked on, as you can imagine. Well, he comes close to death, and his mom hires a faith healer. And the faith healer comes in, and when he heals him, he ends up giving him these superpowers. Well, now he can get back at all the bullies that have been bullying him his entire life. Well, these bullies pull a trick on him to get him back, and that escalates to him getting revenge. Excuse me. And we have a really good cast. Natasha Henstridge, Lance Hendrickson, Adam Beach, Branscombe Richmond, some really good young actors. Our lead just won Best Actor in another festival. So we're very excited about it. We're getting really good reviews on it. So we look forward to
star-studded cast.
Yeah, pretty good cast. I mean, Lance, come on, you know.
Lance Hendrickson. The moment you said the name, I was like, that's great.
Lance is great.
Now you're really brave. This is a very particular thing. You're picking an eating disorder. That's, the whole notion of body shaming and eating disorders. That's a really powerful topic and even taboo to some. What made you use that as the jumping off point in this movie?
Well, I have a writing partner, Kevin Moore, and he was doing research for our next screenplay. And what we wanted to do was something that we could produce, rather than waiting for somebody else to produce it. And so he was looking through a Dear Abby, and the woman was writing to Dear Abby, or I don't know if it was Dear Abby, but it was something like that. And said, I eat a box of crayons every week. Am I going to gain weight? And that just said, well, that's hilarious. First of all, that she was worried about her weight and not the fact she had an eating disorder. And then that just kind of snowballed. And what if we have our character with this? Well, we never even heard of it at this point. But then we started doing some research on it and realized, it's a real disorder. So that's kind of took it into all these other, writers' work. We just snowballed that into what turned out to be The Unhealer.
Really interesting. It's quite brave of you to make that the anti-hero villain. We're not sure because
right.
he's cured. Now he has superpowers. So now we have two kinds of sci-fi in this, and then he decides to take his revenge. So now we have a little horror movie going on in here. You're just keeping us busy for this film. That's great. Wow. And an all-star cast. Oh, Lance Hendrickson and all. Excellent. Looking forward to it. When's it running?
Friday at 8:30.
This Friday? The 5th?
No.
Next
sorry.
Friday.
Friday the 12th at 8:30.
Friday the 12th. Okay. Friday the 12th at 8:30 is part of Boston Sci-Fi. It's amazing. I guess when you're one of the filmmakers here, when's my show? Friday. It's running Friday. You don't even know which Friday it is, but it's
I can't
happening.
remember. What's that? What day is it today? I don't know.
There you go. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Excellent. Sam, how are you scaring us? How are you? What cautionary tale are you bringing to us, Sam Hoiland?
Yeah, Sam Hoiland.
Oh, sorry. I should
common mistake.
look at a name.
It's all good. The I and the L, they just blend right together. So cautionary tale is maybe not one that is needed anymore. The original concept. Well, first of all, I'm the writer director of Cabin for Two. It's a short film that's going to be playing on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, February 10th. But the concept was pretty simple at first. It was what would it look like to virtually date in the end of the world? And we shot that in September of 2019. And if I had just waited like 6 months, I probably would have found out for myself. I wouldn't have needed to make a sci-fi film about it, because I feel like we all kind of figured out what it's like to virtually date in the end of the world. But yeah, we started off with a concept like that, and then developed it from there. And you see our protagonist Harold talking into the camera, selling himself to maybe whoever's out there in this what is slowly revealed to be maybe a more desolate world than you would think.
I've always said this. I've written articles about this. I'm actually writing a book regarding this, that all horror and sci-fi and fantasy are cautionary tales. No matter how small the film, no matter how low the budget, no matter what you think of it, when you look at it just that, with that little extra eye, you are seeing a parable about the future, about humankind, about something like that. And I'm fascinated by the clairvoyancy that some filmmakers have. Holy mackerel. September of 2019?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that for me, it's I would have made the film. Any film that I make is going to be sci-fi, because you can slap it on any genre to make it 3 times more interesting for me to write. I don't think that it's necessarily that I was planning to make a notable parable and a kind of eerie parallel to our 2020 experience, but yeah, it just rolled out that way. I think when sci-fi kind of melds to reality this closely, though, that's probably when I'll stop writing sci-fi and I'll just start sticking to
and start writing history.
Right, there you go. So stuff that's already in stone that I can't get right.
I always ask people, are you a genius by accident or on purpose? When I hear things like this, really brilliant, really visionary, really forward thinking, the notion of dating at the end of the world. And there's the irony. Okay, if the world's ending, what do you care if you have someone in your life? What do you care about the future? So you're really handing us something to think about. I always said, if we really just look at these films, the lessons we can learn, if we all just watched Contagion, maybe just a little harder in 2011.
Took notes.
Yeah, really. When is yours running again?
It's part of the X-Ray block of shorts on February 10th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
February
Boston
10th.
Sci-Fi. Thank you so much. We're so thrilled.
Going to be amazing. Going to be amazing. Speaking of amazing, Pablo, Gallo or Gallo?
You can go with either of them. Gallo, actually, if you pronounce it in Spanish, but yeah, it can be Gallo or Gallo. Can you hear me?
Now I can. Now I can.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sci-fi world. We lost you for a moment.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was saying that you can pronounce it either way. It's fine.
Very cool. Well, Pablo, tell me about your movie.
Well, our short film is called Stuck. It's a one actress short film about this woman who's stuck in this little pipe down at a mining planet, and she gets obviously stuck. So she needs to get out of there by any means. And there's a bunch of different ticking bombs all over. So that's our short film.
So it's basically a tale of survival in a way.
Yeah, it is.
And it's one person, so it's a monologue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have other two characters. One of them is her suit, and the other one is her boss, with whom she's able to speak all the time, and they're trying to help her, and they're trying to locate her, but her transponder is not working. So it's a pretty interesting story. It actually started. A friend of mine wrote it. It actually started as an audio show, like an audio novella, something like that. And I mainly work as a TP, so they were like, "Hey, how about we?" When they told me the idea, I was like, "Hey, how about we make it into a short film with a camera, right?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's just gonna be her helmet, and there's gonna be this little GoPro right over here." And I was like, "Well, not really. That's not what I'm picturing." And we ended up doing this huge short film, and hopefully people are gonna love it.
Now you say, what did you say? One of the characters was her suit?
Yeah, her AI suit. That's
so it
right.
speaks to her.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Oh, so cool. It's interesting. It started as an audio drama. That they're very popular internationally. I hear about them in England all the time. I hear about them everywhere. We've sort of abandoned it here in America, but I think necessity is bringing them back. So again, you're on a cutting edge of something just by bringing back this type of thing. And you've picked a really challenging thing, the one person piece. There was something with James Franco that was based on a true story that got a lot of acclaim. There was several Outer Limits episodes where that one person is lost in space, and how many Twilight Zones are classic because we really see the inner workings of someone. The psychological drama that it gives, because there you are doing this, is really incredible. It's very exciting to hear about that. Now you said, no, they said they just wanted the helmet. What did you bring to it? What imagery did you want to convey in this?
Well, I didn't really want to miss the whole aspect of the story being audio driven. So we started playing with AD audio. I don't know if you've tried that before. The fact, or you wear your headphones and you can pretty much feel sound all over you. So like if you were there. So that was one of the aspects that I wanted to keep inside of the film. So you really actually feel like your boss is talking right over here, but then your AI suit is talking right over here, and everything's going around you all the time. We ended up doing a lot of different shots, because as I told you before, I'm mainly a cinematographer. So instead of just being one camera here, we ended up just using dollies and cranes and crazy stuff, but she was there the whole time, so it was pretty cool. I love what we were able to do.
You're handing us the claustrophobia of what she had with the sound, and then you're handing us panorama just by different angles of this solitude. Oh, excellent.
Exactly.
That's the kind of thing. I'm claustrophobic, so I'm almost afraid to watch your movie now. That's really great. When is it going up?
It's going up on Sunday, February 14th at 3 p.m. It's going on the Sierra, I think that's how it's pronounced, Sierra panel. So hopefully you're gonna watch it.
Valentine's Day. Those of you spending it alone, don't worry. Here's a real case of being alone. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to it. If
Thank you.
I'm sitting in a large room, I could probably watch that movie and not get.
Please do watch it with headphones. That's really important. It
Really?
says so right at the beginning, but you have to wear headphones. Make sure you do, because it's very important for the experience, because it's an audio experience mainly.
Before we all decided to go under house arrest, the notion of immersive theater was quite huge, and so now you're giving us another form of immersion. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Good for you, Michael McCallum.
Yes.
Tell us what nightmare you're providing for us.
Well, beyond the political and social ones we've already been living through in the last year or so, there's a short film that I am honored to have a part of the festival called Bequeathed. This is made through my film company, Rebel Pictures, and it was originally made for a 48-hour film competition. So this whole movie was made, coming up with the idea, getting the locations, casting it, shooting it, editing, everything in just 48 hours. And it's done really well on the festival circuit. Obviously, each festival from all the filmmakers talking is really an honor and wonderful, especially through this time, to get work out there and complete work. But this festival is a real big feather in the cap. So it's an honor to be amongst all these wonderful filmmakers and yourself as well. So Bequeathed is about a man who's given a package that his deceased father wanted him to have. And it's not what he thinks it is. Bum, bum, bum. It's one of those films that a lot of festivals want a trailer for, but it's so short, it's 7.5 minutes. Any type of a trailer gives the whole thing away. So, it's obviously in that vein of sci-fi and horror, and it's something that I'm really proud of. It only stars 2 actors, Scott Baisden and Steve Ledyard, and the performances they give, especially Scott Baisden, is pretty incredible.
We might think it's a real simple plot. You're getting an inheritance from your father, but it's not what you think it is.
Right.
But that's echoing back to an amazing time. You're handing us prime Twilight Zone, night gallery, lights out sort of material. Oh, that's great. Where did the idea come from? What sparked in you to do this really classic infused piece?
Well, everybody involved, especially my team on this project, Scott Baisden, his wonderfully talented wife, Ann Cope, who's a great makeup artist, Steve Ledyard, who's a wonderful actor. I'm in Michigan, so we have a plethora of talent in and around the state. And my father, William C. McCallum, was also a part of it, helped produce it. But we came up with this really cool idea. Again, I've done, other projects, short films, features, music videos. And then I acted in a bunch of competition films in the last few years. Some great experiences, some not so great experiences. And this was a project that really set out to create something in a short period of time, work with a great group of people, some new people, some people I've worked with previously. And then, you pull the genres and everything out of a hat. You literally are given, this was for the 48-hour film project, Detroit, horror. So they had you couldn't even imagine the different genres, subgenres of horror that they had there. Mad Scientist to Patient Zero so we ended up getting claustrophobia, isolation were 2 of the subgenres that we got. So we were able to find, I know a lot of people in the area that I live in, and which is Lansing, Michigan, the capital city. You've probably seen it on CNN a lot lately, but there's a lot of creativity going on here too, not just chaos in the streets. Little my Bowie shirt here, little panic in Detroit. So it's been it was a project that was really cool to do though, because I was able to find this old abandoned walk-in bank safe that we ended up using in the film, which was really eerie, is when you look at this wall that in the film that is all the safety deposit boxes with all the keys in them. It's a little eerie. So I really felt as a director and a producer and a writer, I was able to assemble a great team and find some really cool locations for this and make something that, as cool as it was for the competition, it stands on its own as a creative project that's now playing at, in Boston for this wonderful festival.
That's great. Oh, that's really great. It's so funny you say about 48 hours. I hear that from so many of the filmmakers, the challenges that you all have faced. Okay, I only could shoot this 1 day a month, and so that's all I had. Well, we originally did this, but we only have $10,000, so we're only doing this. It's amazing, beyond the far-flung imagination of what's on the screen. The imaginations you all need just to get it there are absolutely incredible. When's your film running?
Oh, it plays as part of the Oscar Boston Sci-Fi Shorts section. This is February 12th, Friday, 5 p.m.
Friday, February 12th, 5 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't think you have to rush and write down exactly when these films are, because there's like another 75 to think about. To find out about these amazing works and all the others, you go to bostonscifi.com, Boston, SCIFI.com. There are ticket links, there are interviews, there's all information about the panels, about the programming, about everything like that from this amazing festival. And interviews like this are on Channel I on YouTube. Go to jmichaelsarts.com, JAYMICHAELSARTS.com, and look for the link to Channel I to hear about all of these amazing filmmakers from this and many other festivals. And while you're there, please press subscribe. It's lonely. I'm not as lonely as the person in Pablo's film, but it's lonely. So please press subscribe. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to speak to you. It's really exciting to hear this cornucopia of ideas and concepts. And I'm really thrilled for you. And I can't wait to hear all about these movies. Good luck to you. And it's a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you, Jay.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks
Excited
so
to see
much.
the rest of your guys' films.
Indeed.
It's been an honor.
Yeah, appreciate it.